Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading. What's up, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces? Welcome to the Teacup. My name is Annie. We are going to read some tarot cards for you guys today. 3 individual readings. Timestamps are right down below. These are going to be money tarots, money, career, finances. At least I'm going to try for that. I'll do my best. I can only tell you what the cards show me. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop in. So we're going to go in order for Cancer. Oh, maybe we should do Scorpio, though. Actually, we're going to start with Scorpio, King of Cups. We're going to start with Scorpio. How can I not take that as a message? You know what I mean? All right, so let's tap into my Scorpio's energy. Money and finances. Give me a 3-card storyline. We're going to look at your challenge or focus, the options or solutions available to you, and potential outcome. Or advice or guidance. We can look at it like that too. So give me 3 cards on Scorpio in terms of their money or their job. So challenge or focus, you have 2. Oh, interesting. So you're closing out a cycle. Very interesting. In fact, I kind of want to keep pulling more. Yeah. Actually, those 2 kind of came out. Okay, cool. Yeah, Scorpio, you're going to be fine. You're moving on from something, or I'm going to say it this way, you're headed into what you would say like in the clear. This doesn't have to indicate the ending of a job, but it could be wrapping something out that either has, it doesn't necessarily have to be burdensome. To be honest, you don't have a lot of cards indicating that to me. I'm just saying, this is the starting of a new. So whatever chapter you're finishing up, it's almost like you're tying up the loose ends, and then you graduate from that. Because these cards show up in order to me, instantly what I get from this Scorpio, it may not feel like this now, but this is ultimately universe saying to you, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So I know some of you are probably struggling and you're worried about money, you're worried about the job. That's normal. You're human, right? It's good that you're feeling that type of way because it's going to motivate you to go out and chase whatever it is that you want. This to me is saying you're right on track though, because there's a major ending, but I don't want you to jump to a negative conclusion because that's really not what I see here. If I saw the 10 of Swords or the 10 of Wands, I'd be like, oof, something's ending, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, and it would be sort of, painful or arduous or something that's been like, exhausting. This to me is saying there's almost a reason to celebrate because whatever this next chapter is in your life, there's a tremendous sense of freedom. This card is like a planet card. It has to do with the planet Saturn, which is sort of like the restricting planet. It, like constricts. It's sort of the taskmaster, the heavy, owning up to one's responsibility. It seems like you're graduating with newfound independence. Saturn ruling the sign of Aquarius and Capricorn. Capricorn's kind of being our very career focused, like money driven, kind of powerhouse sign in terms of career and finances. So that's great. You got connections to Saturn there, as well as possibly Aquarius. So it could be a timestamp as well. And then of course you guys know, well, most of you probably already know, Judgment does sort of indicate scorpionic energy because it's the idea of transformation, transforming from one cycle to the next. So regarding your money, I'm asking, what is the challenge or focus? Are you ready to leave it behind, whatever you've been doing? Or I don't necessarily know if this involves sacrifice. That's sort of something I heard myself say that. It sounded much darker than I meant. When I see the Hanged Man, there's an element of what can you sacrifice? What do you need to let go of in order to make room for this change in your life? I don't even know if it's that. I have to be honest. I sense travel is going to be huge for many of you. Especially for a job, for an opportunity with your money. All these 3 cards for me as a reader can definitely indicate possible travel opportunities. And this is double confirmation too that there is movement in your money. So you're asking me about money. Knight of Pentacles is a great card, right? It's not necessarily the king or the queen, but it's saying, yeah, we're kind of getting a move on here. We're gaining momentum, right? Knights always bring change and movement. So the fact that there's showing of your money, like a money flow and an energy in motion, I think that's very good. But it does come with some sort of decision that you have to make. and sort of getting something about frozen assets. So I don't think that's literal for most of you. I think this has to do, for some of you, it may put you in an awkward position because it may end up having to distance yourself from a partner or a family member or an old job, someone you have a very strong connection to. For most of you, it feels more romantic. So that's the thing. I see that for a lot of you. You may have to work in a different location than your sweetheart, or maybe travel a lot and not get to see your person. The thing is, I actually think it's setting you up for a very good job. But yeah, to me, I have to be honest, Scorpio, for majority of you watching, new travel and exploration of new territories is absolutely in the cards for you. You may actually be going back to working with someone from your past, someone, I suppose it could have been someone you were romantically linked to, but more than likely like a former boss or a former coworker. You, with Six of Cups, you may be going back to work with someone in the past who you have very fond feelings for. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it's not someone you hate. That's not the Six of Cups. This would be like, oh yeah, remember we worked together when we graduated college, and what are you up to, and that kind, like you may end up connecting with someone from your past. So help available to you is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is about embracing the new cycle. I will say too, with the Six of Cups, not being overly sentimental about where you're currently at or where you used to be. It's sort of about living in the moment, but also futuristic thinking, being more optimistic of like, all right, well, maybe if I give this a try, it will yield some sort of result. I'm not totally aware of what that is yet, but it's like if you have a good feeling, you're very intuitive, Scorpio. This says to me, I'm almost wanting to say take a leap of faith because there's something good in store for you, and it might not make total sense yet, but it's almost like if you make a move, the universe will follow suit. Six of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, to chase your money, to chase some sort of project, to do something you want to build towards, right? I suppose it could be doing something educational, going after knowledge, swords meaning, indicating thoughts, intelligence, Aquarian season type vibes, teacher, professor type stuff. Some of you may be interested in going back to school or becoming educators or something involving that sort of arena. But there is a difficult choice, and for a lot of you, it either has to do with uprooting your comfortable life or wherever you're currently staying. Again, like I'm hearing the word residential, so possibly your house. If it doesn't have to do with that, you may be at a crossroads of, I like this person and we just started dating, but I just got a job across the country. So I mean, that's up to you. And I'm not saying you couldn't try and do both. I think you feel some type of way about that, right? I think it makes you anxious to try and understand where that's going to fit into your life. Again, I do think that if it's meant to be, it'll work itself out. You guys may try a long distance relationship, but the help available to you is embrace the change, baby. And also think in a very like money savvy way. I know, that's like so easy to say, but Wheel of Fortune, it's a money card. So are you thinking about all the streams of income? And because it has to do with the planet Jupiter, Jupiter is go big or go home. Take a risk, right? We want more. You may have to spend more money to make more money in the long run. Do you understand what I mean? Big, blow it up. I'm literally seeing like the inflation of like a bouncy house or something. So I'm sure that's a metaphor for something, but literally like, or even like air in a tire. I'm seeing one of those like air pumps, a basketball. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you, but I'm literally seeing something about make it bigger, expand it. And Jupiter being very tied to Sagittarius, which is kind of like a teacher, professorial, philosophy type, very like in your head. So again, something to do with education. For some of you who are interested in that, that's double confirmations, right? If you're not, that's okay. Message still stands. The help available to you is go big. It's time to like, I'm seeing people putting on sunglasses. I think that has to do with something about changing your perspective to look at new avenues of income. You have really great cards, Scorpio. I don't know what else to tell you. So potential outcome, or you could even look at this as like advice or guidance of like, if you took the action, what would come about? Like you would manifest some sort of change in your life. I don't know why this keeps coming through because I am trying to read for money, but so much of this is very reliant on a partnership. I've seen that a few times. So especially if you're dealing with a Capricorn or an Aquarius, maybe a Sag or a Gemini, it doesn't matter, Gemini, Virgo. I mean, the thing is, it's not going to be the same for all of you, but I do think because the Magician is card 1, it's almost saying, look at just you. Like, what about this situation, especially if it is a job offer with Knight of Pentacles, how does it benefit you before you start trying to fix everybody else's life and understand, well, how are they going to fit into my future and will they move with me or do I move with them? I think you're being asked to focus on you and what you want to manifest, from this experience. I have to be honest, I sense a lot of you are going to be at a distance from someone you love very much, but you are taking on this beautiful new job opportunity, or again, expanding the body of skills and knowledge that you already have. It's kind of a power player move, isn't it? Like it's in a funny way to me, it's almost being relayed as kind of cocky, but I actually like it because there's like a swagger. That's how I would describe it, is like you do some sort of like boss move where it's sort of like atypical or unexpected, but my classic Scorpios, there's some sort of major transformation happening because you're closing out an old cycle, which doesn't necessarily mean, again, it was a negative one. It's just you've reached a point where universe is like, okay, I challenged you and you overcame those, so now I guess I got to throw more challenges at you. But with that, it's not just challenges, it's blessings too. I feel like this period of time, it's about focusing on you and manifesting what you want, knowing that lovers, people, right, they're always going to come and go in your life. The ones who are meant to be there, they will find a way to get to you, and vice versa. You guys will find a way to communicate Mercury energy, whether you're 5 miles away or 500 miles away, right? Like you guys will figure it out if you want to, but I sort of see this transitioning from you focusing more on your career and your money rather than maybe love life and partnership. I just have to be honest, I see that being put on the back burner. Because you do have 2 cards of Gemini, it's possible that there might be some sort of collaboration with a Gemini, or again, a childhood friend or a former colleague who maybe they've been at a distance. Yeah, there might be a reconnection. Some of you are going to end up working in social media, or possibly, I don't know why I'm seeing something about like video games. Something about that may be important. Some of you may end up working in travel, or anything involving technology, right? Planet Mercury, which has to do with messages, communications, information, technology, teaching, writing, and anything like that. If that's confirmation of something you want to get into, well, it's showing up in your cards, so I would nudge you in that direction for sure. I wouldn't say this in every tarot reading, but in this specific message, I am being called to say, Scorpio, stop putting others before you, because it seems like you've been putting your career on pause to make everybody else satisfied and comfortable, and universe is like putting the spotlight on you, like, no, like, what do you want? That's sort of what I see. Do I want to ask anything else specific? I always feel like money tarots are clunky, which is why I don't do them very often. So I hope this helps some of you. Hold on, let me challenge focus. Some of you are going to be musicians, or you're going to take up an instrument, or you're going to end up working with someone who's very musical. Travel just keeps coming up again and again and again. So the help available to you guys, let's clarify that a little bit more. Wheel of Fortune, you may have money coming into you. If you're applying for a loan or applying for some sort of sum of money, or for a property, that looks pretty good. Again, it's tarot, it's not a guarantee, but the help available to you is you have some blessings coming in, very likely in the form of money, and the Knight of Pentacles is right here too. So especially if money has been tight, if the bank account has sort of been frozen for a bit, you may actually start seeing a break in that cycle. In fact, you may get 2 offers at once. Or again, an important decision. That's really what the Lovers card is too. You got decisions to make. So maybe you have 2 job offers, or again, something to do with choosing a person versus choosing a job. Those 2 decisions may come at the same time. What is the help available? Any more specifics on the Wheel of Fortune? Some of you are going to be reading a lot of books or a lot of literature, so I don't know if you're working for like a magazine or publishing some sort of anthology, or like lots of essays and pieces of writing. Maybe you're just, to advance your own education or knowledge, but yeah, I see you with stacks of books, and some of you might be writing them too, or offering critique, like a critic of some kind. Deck's upside down. All right, so something with a Leo may be very important. In fact, it could be a flame with a Leo. I don't know if you guys dated, or if you're already married to a Leo, you guys are probably going to start like a home run business or a home run operation, the 2 of you. Or also an Aquarius. Those could be future coworkers. Some of you may actually end up working for dating apps, or something to do with I don't know if it's couples therapy, but I don't even know what to do with this, but something involving like romantic couples. So I don't know if you're counseling them or giving them I don't know if you're like a sex therapist or a sex counselor or something about that. working with couples and something to do with sex. So I don't know, like I just have to say, like, I don't know if it's like the porn industry or something like that. I'm not here to judge. I'm just relaying the message. For some of you, it's something like that. And okay, so for a few of you, it could even have to do with like the idea of possibly fame or acquiring a lot of attention. So if some of you are like, maybe Instagram famous, or you're getting a lot of hits on your website, again, there's expansion there and that could grow significantly. You may end up having a very strong group of followers, but also Three of Pentacles, a strong body of work. Teams of 3 may be significant. Again, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, something to do with those signs are coming through very strongly. Some of you are going to have children, or there could be something to do with pregnancy, or you're working with children or working with babies. Maybe you're a nurse. Or storybooks for children, or children's themed television. I don't know. I know I'm getting uber specific, but this is a card of building and teamwork, so that very likely has to do with money and collaboration. And I mean, quite literally, it's strong. There's strength to this partnership. So that's potentially what's helpful to you. If you have a good Leo friend or an Aquarius friend, I would reach out to them and network with them, because there's something that could absolutely benefit you there. And it might be someone who maybe you do have bad blood with, or you've been at a distance. Maybe there requires a bit of repairing and manifesting a new beginning with that person. All right, Scorp, that's what I got for you. Let's move on to our next water sign. Quick shuffle. And I think next time I see you guys, I will probably be doing February monthlies. So yeah, in fact, I will. So look out for those. Like, share, subscribe. That would be much appreciated, Scorpio. All right, who are we going to do next? Are we going to do Pisces or Cancer? Let's see what the universe says. See what the deck says. Cancer. Gemini card, Gem Cancer cuspers. Why not? All right, so these readings are clunky. I struggle to read for money. We'll see. We'll see if it works for you all out there. All right, so let's talk about Cancer, money, career. Ooh, that came right out. Okay, money and career. Actually, I'm going to look at that first. Ooh, a new beginning, Ace of Wands. Cancer, something you're very passionate about. Some of you may end up going back to school, or something about expanding your knowledge, which I'll be honest, that's going to be a theme in these readings anyway, because we are in Aquarius season, which it rules kind of your mental aptitude, right? That kind of thing. Aquarians are very intelligent, and any air sign, it's based in the mind, the logic, the intelligence, the information. So some of you may end up going back to school, or you're just doing a lot of research or studying. Ace of Wands can be anything from sexual encounters to spiritual connections, creativity, passion, anything of that kind. It's a good card. Generally, we like the Ace of Wands. So some of you are going to be doing something with like, I'm hearing agriculture or something with trees. So I don't know if you're like doing something with like preservation of like lands or forests or something, like preserving nature to keep it in its natural state. I don't know. Okay, let's get more specific for Cancer. That's a great way to start though, Cancer. So here we go. We are going to do Cancer's challenge or focus in the coming month, career, money, and finance-wise. The help available to them, what they can use to their benefit, as well as the potential outcome or action they need to take. Okay? So we're going to do, again, I can only give you what the cards tell me, Cancer, but let's try for it. What is Cancer's challenge or focus regarding their money or jobs just in the coming month or so? Oh, did you see that? So you have the same thing that Scorpio had. There's a distance between someone you love. So it could be a romantic distance, but I'll be honest, more than likely it's showing as a mother and a child. So it could quite literally be that, whether you are the mother or you are the child, Cancer. You may feel like you're at a distance from someone you love. And I mean, part of that may have to do just with, COVID, right? Let's just be honest. But that's either a focus or a challenge for you right now. And knowing that Cancers do tend to be fairly sentimental, you guys are very loyal to your soul tribe. That may be interfering or impacting your career life in some way or another. Hey, love the Ten of Pentacles. Let's see if that comes out again. We want that card. That's an excellent money card. It does have to do with family and legacy and inheritance, so it could be something like that. So tell me more about Cancer's challenge or focus in money and jobs this month. What's that about? Some of you may actually end up leaving a career where you work very closely with children, Or if you are in a job where the role in itself has a maternal like quality, where you are doting and caring for other people, whether you work in an old folks home or with special needs people or people with disabilities, whatever it is, if you're very like mama energy, you may actually choose to leave that job behind, or it may come to an end. And I don't do fear-based readings, but Cancers for who are new, I have to be very honest and blunt with you. There's something about a distance where I don't think it was necessarily desired or wanted, but it is. So it's your challenge, So tell me a little bit more about that. Cancer's challenge or focus? Yeah, you're missing someone you really like. Okay, because you may have gotten word that you need to travel elsewhere, possibly for a job, or you could have gotten in an argument. There may have been a very harsh exchange of words or energy, especially between parent and child, no matter how old you are, right? You could be the child and 50 years old, right? You know what I mean? There could be some arguments or someone rubbing you the wrong way where you're wanting to distance yourself, but the thing is you still kind of love them. So it could be husband, wife, whatever. There could be a job involving technology coming your way, or something very some sort of very technical skill, very like computer based. Which I mean, so many jobs are like that now. Or writing. You may be doing a fair amount of writing. Let's see. Something to do with like weather systems. I'm almost getting like forecasting. So maybe some of you are like astrologers, the idea of forecasting. For a lot of you, it has to do with like weather stuff though too. Okay, so some of you may be planning a trip and it gets delayed due to weather. And maybe that's what's keeping you away from your person. I know, Cancer. I'm trying to read for money and jobs, but I'm doing my best here. That's sort of what I see. Some of you may end up working in costuming or something of the sort, something to do with like dresses or formal wear, formal attire. So there is a job offer coming in. I like that. Whether you're seeking it out or looking, it could even be a friend, especially a Gemini who reaches out to you about a job opportunity. It could be that your Gemini or whoever this is recently got a job and they ask if you want to come on board too. Yeah, in fact, some of you, it may even just fall into your lap. There could be like a recruiter or a headhunter or like a LinkedIn person sees your resume and they just reach out to you on a whim and you're like, oh, me? Here's the thing though. I feel like, where does Cancer stand? And that's what this is too. For most, I was about to say, how does Cancer feel about this? For most of you, I think you're very excited about this opportunity. For those who are not struggling or arguing or fighting with the person you love or your family, that's going to pull at your heartstrings because I think you're very excited to go towards this opportunity, but it puts you at a distance from someone you love. For others of you, again, there might just be fighting in the workplace, fighting in the home, fighting in the family. You guys will get over it. It seems very temporary. I'm only reading for a month. But you have 2 aces, so it's possible if you are, unemployed and looking, or whether you're full-time employed and looking, you have a couple opportunities coming in. The thing is, this opportunity comes very fast, despite it being shown with an Ace of Pentacles. This, to me, talks about the solidarity of it. Like, this is actually a really good, substantial offer. It may have a good price tag attached to it. Maybe it has a cushy vacation plan or really nice benefits. You seem very excited to rush towards that. So, tell me, like, one more thing, just so I have the clear picture here. But you have anxiety about taking the opportunity. So what can I tell, Cancer? King of Pentacles. Cancer. You seeing these money cards? You have really good money cards. I'm sure the situation will be complicated for all of you. Like, flat out, you guys know. I don't have all the details. I just know what the cards are telling me. This seems like there's a huge amount of money attached to it. Or it is a job that could set you up for future success that would allow you to save a lot of money, or flat out, you have fantastic money cards. This opportunity may come out of nowhere, or again, very quickly. Like, someone just reaches out to you and they're like, hey, like, I just got this job. They need another. Are you in? And you're like, it rattles you a little bit, but I actually think like it's a very good opportunity. It's sort of high class. It's sort of ritzy, or you may have to move to a location that's, maybe the location is very expensive. And so I think, I don't know if I think I said this to Scorpio as well. I don't know if something about this opportunity, you have to spend a lot of money to make a lot of money. Like maybe you have to uproot your home and you have to move across the country or whatever, right? That's expensive. But I think in the long run, you're going to make it. I think you're going to more than make it back. Your challenge or focus is the decision of, is it worth it? I mean, and we all have different priorities, even on my cancers, right? I think you're excited about this, but it pulls at your heartstrings, especially like a mother-daughter or a mother-child relationship. Even my males out there, right? Something about that may make sense to you. It could be your child. It may put you at a distance from your family too. It doesn't indicate you have to break up, but it could be that there's a travel opportunity and you're not going to be home for 3 months or something like that. There seems to be a lot of money and longevity attached to it. And I do not ever predict death on my channel, but if this makes sense to some of you, if you lost a parent, especially a mother, there's a huge sum of money coming or like an inheritance. And I don't want to use the word huge, right? Because that's different for everybody, but there's a pretty good lump sum of money. And actually, it may actually be connected to a father or a grandfather. So again, I don't say that to put panic or fear in your heart. Like that's not my goal or my intention. So don't make it your message if it's not, right? But if you know that that's ultimately inevitable, right? Something comes out of that. And again, it may come unexpectedly or very quickly. All right, let's focus on the help available to you. That's sort of your challenge or focus. So again, you may have to piece that together if and where it makes sense. Those are the main messages coming through. Some of you may end up inheriting the family business, and I don't know if you're stoked about that, but I actually think it would suit you quite well. I think you would excel in that arena. You may end up working for your father or some connection to your father's friend, your uncle, some masculine energy who it's almost like they're like family. There could be a job opportunity that comes to you that way as well. So if that makes sense, network, right? Absolutely. And again, something in writing or education is coming through for a lot of you. And okay, some of you may be going back to school for a very expensive degree, for lack of a better term. But again, in the end, if you're going for whatever, you're a doctor, you're going to pay a lot of money in tuition, but you're going to make a lot of money later on. That could be what this is as well. All right. What is the help available to Cancer? What is going to help them through this period or this transition or whatever they're relating to in those cards that came out? What is helpful? What is the optimistic? What is glass half full? What can help them? What should they focus on? Careers and healing, and a decision about what is best for you internally. What is good for your mental health and your emotional health. Before you make a move, it's almost like get grounded is sort of what I'm seeing here. And also, quite literally, the help available to you is that you have angels around you, or whatever you believe in, God, source, spirit. You have like a spiritual energies around you that are helping to, I'm sort of hearing like protect you and guide you. Don't be afraid to make a decision. I always kind of joke, not making a decision is a decision in itself. You will eventually move forward on this because you do have wands, which indicate action, travel, energy, again, passion. For a lot of you, this is not like I'm trying to phrase this correctly. There is exciting opportunities here, but ultimately there's a little bit of sacrifice. So I don't want you to look at this opportunity as a death sentence, like you have to trade in your freedom to do this. Or do you know what I mean? Like overall, this is very positive. Again, if anything, it puts a wedge in a relationship or it adds a little bit of confusion to it. That's sort of what I would say. I do think you guys need to make a decision, and the thing is, I do sense that this decision kind of has to come sort of quickly. You need to do with what you feel comfortable doing. So flat out, if you're not certain, then ask your employer or your friend, can you give me a week to think about it or whatever. But I sense that an offer comes your way, and I think there's a lot of money attached to it. So I guess this to me is saying, like, make sure you make this in a reasonable state of mind, get a good night's sleep, think about it. But it's like you have to make a decision that is that like promotes spiritual wellness in your life. You have the world in your hand. So even though it might not seem like it, you have the upper hand in this scenario because you have a lot of experience here. Or if you're questioning that, you are more experienced or more versed in this subject than you think. You need to be confident, Cancer. Confidence will go a very long way here. It's not about lying or being inauthentic. It's about not minimizing yourself. It's about like recognizing your value and your worth, but also not taking lowball offers. I think that's important too. Some of you have an opportunity to travel, quite literally holding a globe or holding the world. Is that something you would enjoy? You know the answer. I don't, Cancer, but okay. Some of you have an opportunity and you're tempted to take it, but you feel like it's going to distract from what you ultimately want to do in the long term. Because I see a lot of you want to be entrepreneurs, especially in any career involving wellness or spirituality, healing. So it could be medical healing, but it could be like spiritual healing or something like that. Or culinary type stuff. I have to be honest, that's kind of a card of like mixing the ingredients. Do you know what I mean? It could be artists, someone very spiritual. It could also be like athletic, like trainers, athletes, something to do with like training the body, healing of the body. Or the restaurant industry. I see a lot of you do sales involving alcohol or like liquor, fancy wines or something like that. Sorry, I get all these random hits. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, so a lot of you want to be entrepreneurs, but you may not be at the point yet where you are able to support yourself. So what can I tell Cancer there? You're going to be. This is the card of she supports herself. She's a self-made woman. So here's the thing, guys. I think for a lot of you who've already gotten the ball rolling on something, you will see it grow, but Pentacles say it's going to happen slowly. So better to have it develop over time than a quick burn, right? Where, you know, you get burnt out and it fades and that was that. I see you guys again I'm sort of hearing the word slow motion, but building your empire in a very delicate, harmonious, balanced way, you will succeed. Again, another great money card, especially for my entrepreneurs out there, male or female. I think there's the temptation of something that comes along, again, very quickly, and the money and the price seem to be good. I'm just not sure your heart is in it. That's sort of what I'm struggling with. Or again, it puts you at odds with someone who you want to build a life with or a partner that you love very much or whatever it is. So honestly, the help available to you is to, I'm almost hearing the word rest on what you've already built. Does that make sense? And again, to operate out of honoring your own wellness, like not taking opportunities that are going to stress you the F out. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Others of you may have an opportunity to travel to see, or to work with, I should say, a Virgo or a Sagittarius. You may end up working for a very wealthy woman, and a specifically woman, so maybe it's a Sagittarius woman or a Virgo woman. It doesn't have to be. But you have to leave the safety and the comfort of your home or what you consider your comfort zone. But it could actually end up potentially being a lifelong partnership, and any career involving spirituality. Some of you are going to break away from a job that is very traditional by nature. It's like you have to clock in at this time and this is when you take your lunch. And it's very traditional in the way the system has been built. I'm hearing operating system. It's very old. It's very traditional. It's always been this way. You know, black is black, white is white. That may be part of the reason you're wanting to merge off and do your own thing, because there would be a tremendous amount of freedom that comes with that. And it would give you peace of mind to do it your own way and feel like you're doing it right. And that has to do with your decision. It may have to do with the old versus the new. There could even be a transition of leadership in your division or your job, whatever, from specifically Sagittarius to Taurus or vice versa. Gosh, man. It's funny, like this whole reading, as much as I'm reading for love, I'm sorry, totally didn't mean to say that, but what I was going to say is, as much as I'm trying to read for money and finances, it's almost being relayed to me as like a love reading. So feel free to view it that way if you would like to, but you have a lot of cards indicating like family, couples, romance, husband, wife, but again, there's something about the shift. So Two of Cups in a money and finance reading to me says there's compatibility in you and that job. The service you're providing, or however you look at it, it's a good fit for you. It's a good match. It can also indicate collaborations and partnership. but again, something at a distance. You may have an opportunity to collaborate with a friend or a family member, but it would involve uprooting your life. You have two very strong cards of spirituality too. So some of you may be leading a spiritual group or opening some sort of like spiritual occult shop or tarot readings or something like that. You bring healing to people in a, it's sort of funny. I'm getting traditional but untraditional way. So I don't know what to do with that, Cancer. Entrepreneurship is huge. Saving your money, being smart with your money. I also think, too, that there's such a message here of don't be afraid to try it. You win some, you lose some, and ultimately by not taking any sort of risk, you're never going to get anything new. And I see you uncomfortable in having to make a decision, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't make that decision. You may have offers coming in, and again, it could be 2 job offers or 2 projects to work on, or however you want to view this. It may also have to do with job stuff versus love stuff. I almost see you, because you have 2 twos. It's like you have decisions, but one involves your career and one involves your love life, whether it's romantic or family love, right? That's, I feel like, what this is. I mean, maybe, I don't know if someone's proposing marriage and you're not ready for that, or if it's not marriage, the idea of making it something more established and solidified and traditional. This could even be signing a long-term contract. I feel like a lot of you are more on the verge of wanting more freedom, but there's something less traditional or tangible about this other offer, but it might make you happier in the long run. Some of you are going to get the keys to a new office, or something about a very heavy promotion. You may become a leader in your business or in the field. One of these offers involves travel, and I think that gives you a little anxiety. But again, that's not a huge deal, Cancer. But the help available to you is your friendship, your networking abilities, the people in your life who can help, almost like nepotism, like help set you up or put in a good word, give you a good letter of recommendation. Possibly something to do with a father or someone in your church group, someone related to like your spiritual group or your church group. Something to do with marriage contracts. And I mean, I am trying to make this about love, but you have the card of marriage, you have the 2 of Cups, and then you have like the love angel, Michael. So again, there's a crossroads of I want to keep building my career or work on this or take this contract, but I also am falling for this person and I'm in love with them. So Cancer, I know that's not disappointing, but it seems confusing, like you seem conflicted. So let's do one more message then. What can I tell Cancer? What is the best advice or guidance here? I see a lot of you guys making your own money. Moving away from a larger entity, a larger body, a larger corporation. It's like you're making your own money. That stream of income, it's passing from your cup to your cup, if that makes sense. And a lot of you may be working with like client-based type stuff. I don't know how else to say it, like make an appointment, almost like therapy sessions or counseling or tarot reading or something like that. Anyway, advice or guidance for my Cancer. Let's just say in the coming month. What do they need to hear? Graduate. You graduated. Who are you now? It's not about who you used to be. A lot of you are living in the past. You keep wanting to default to what is familiar when universe is like, hey, babe, it's time to take a risk. Freedom, travel, Queen of Cups, my little psychic tarot readers of the deck, right? Male or female, you guys are the Queen of Cups. You need to trust your gut. You need to trust your intuition. I'm hearing kitchen's closed. Are you getting out of the restaurant industry? What does that mean? Kitchen's closed. Some of you may be divorcing too. If it's not the starting of a marriage, it could be that you choose to end a marriage because your career is thriving and you realize you're not as invested in that person as you thought you were at one point in time. Your fear is temporary. Your anxiety is temporary. Eventually, I would say this to all my water signs. It takes you guys a second to kind of get comfortable, right? When you enter a room, you kind of got to feel it out because there's a lot of energy. You guys tend to get bombarded with that, right? You will settle in. It's almost like an exhale. Like take a deep breath and like catch your breath. Like allow yourself to feel a sense of calm because you will. Packing up and moving gives you guys a lot of anxiety, but I see that for a lot of you. Home is where you make it, where you lay roots. I understand that we think of that as, oh, well, it's roots. It's stuck in the ground. I'm going to be there forever. It's not. This is a card of temporary. And also this is a card where I sometimes say, where are you lying to yourself? Where do you intuitively know the truth, but you're wanting to resist it or deny it or run from making the decision because it's uncomfortable? Where are you self-sabotaging, Cancer? That's somewhere where you need to look at too. Some of you may end up working in homes and rentals and I actually almost said retail, so sure, take that if that makes sense. But realty, something about selling homes or properties or like vacation homes or something to do with even like camping grounds. I don't know what that is, but something about the tents. It's like temporary homes, or maybe you're a landlord or a landlady or something like that. A lot of you are going to lecture large groups of people, so that you could be doing like a sales pitch or a sales call, or I see you standing up in front of groups of people and giving some sort of demonstration or presentation or giving some sort of important speech. Some of you are going to be much more involved in politics. And I'm hearing the word liberation. That's very indicative of the World card. Some of you are going to be musicians. Okay, so you may be standing up in front of audiences too. If you're not giving lectures and speeches, you may have a crowd of audience people coming to see you talk or something like that. Where can you tie up the loose ends to prepare for this next chapter? Because you guys are going to be really busy. I'm almost getting the idea of this gets really busy when you make the decision. And maybe that's why the decision is so scary, because it's like the minute you say yes or sign the contract, sign the dotted line, it's like you're off to the races. For a lot of you, I feel like you're tiptoeing around it. You're warming up to the idea. Again, it's like you're getting familiar with the idea of what it could be or what it's going to feel like. I almost see this as you're delaying the inevitable. You have free will, Cancer. You can do whatever you want. But the thing is, I almost think the writing is on the wall. You know you're destined to do this. It's like you're putting it off. This is the card of waiting for your ships to come in. I think they come in and it's almost like you've been waiting so long you don't believe it. Or you're like, well, wait a minute. I mean, I just got comfortable here. There's something about, and I mean, this is such a beautiful reading. I don't mean to make it sound pessimistic. I'm trying to understand your psychology or your viewpoint. And ultimately, I can't for all of you, but there's something like a really good opportunity comes along, but you have hesitation. I do think it comes from either insecurity or fear or a lack of confidence, or again, I love my person, I want to be with them, but I can't, like a back and forth about a relationship in your life. It makes you nervous, too, because there are no guarantees. And in life, there aren't. You know this, I know this, right? We like to think that there are, but there are no guarantees. The Seven of Cups says you kind of have to trust your gut. And the thing is, I just sense from this, you have to make a decision. You know, not making a decision, yes, that's a decision, but there's like a yes or a no. Do you want the job or do you not? Are you going to apply for this loan or you're not? Are you going to move your house? Are you going to move across the country? You know, whatever it is. And you're just like, I think you're overwhelmed to do it, but you will make the decision. And the thing is, just make it with confidence. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out. And then, you know, you close out that chapter and you start again. Some of you may have trust issues with this person, with the Seven of Swords. I don't know if there's something about their energy. It just seems off to you. So again, trust your gut. That's not you operating in fear. That's you operating with your, yeah, something doesn't feel right. I need to examine this more. Some of you may end up working with a sibling or, again, taking over the family business, working with children. Oh, some of you are going to end up working with your romantic partner, especially the Pisces, especially in something spiritual or psychic or, again, esoteric. But you fought a lot with this person, but I think you're going to be fine. I know there's a lot of messages I'm throwing at you, but yeah, there's like a fear to make a decision, but when you do, it's like you go back to how good things used to be, but I think there's that moment of, oh, but they kind of hurt me that one time, or I don't know if I can trust them. You need to examine where your fear is coming from and if it's legit, or again, if it's just simply fear, if it's your shadow side talking. For most of you, I think you're going to push through this obstacle and you're going to realize that you do have the higher ground. You are making the executive decisions in your life, Cancer, and this is the start of something new. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very exciting. Take a leap of faith, Cancer. That's where I'm going to end yours. That was tricky. All right, so Let's do Pisces. How am I doing for time? These are way too long. Oh yeah, these are way too long. All right, Pisces. Pisces, some of you are going to be working with a Leo or an Aries. Some of you are healers. You have like divine healing powers. All right, Pisces. Regarding money, jobs, finances, what is their challenge or focus? What is Pisces' challenge or focus? Moving on from something that didn't work out, and not feeling bad or guilty about it, not beating yourself up about it, recognizing that it didn't work out for a reason and you got exactly what you were supposed to get out of that experience or that job or that person, which was information, knowledge, very likely knowledge on how you're going to do it differently next time. And it doesn't mean that whatever ended was terrible or bad. In fact, some of you may energetically still feel like you're attached to it, but it's saying, understood from the universe's perspective, whatever you're moving away from, it served its purpose. It wasn't for nothing, but in the long term, it either wasn't going to make you happy or it was going to be a detriment to your finances. Like it wasn't paying you enough, or working in New York at your dream internship, you weren't, making ends meet because your rent was so high. Like something like that. It's saying you have two cards indicating walk away. And again, it doesn't mean it has to be from something toxic or negative. Just for one reason or another, universe said, okay, not anymore. So this is about your challenge or focus is being more forward thinking, futuristic thinking, looking to the future with optimism. Because everything you've been through, whether it was to hell and back or the positive, right? It served you, but understand that's kind of where it ends. Now it's about moving forward, okay? You do have a good card of independent entrepreneur type stuff. So if you are looking to start your own business, or if you're currently doing that, I would say keep doing that. But if you are currently building your own empire, or again, entrepreneurs, solopreneur type stuff, there's some decision you need to make, but you're avoiding it. And so it's delaying the growth of your business. It could even be needing to spend some money to earn more money, or bring some people on board to do your technical data entry type stuff because you don't have time. It's something about, the thing is, I think you're right to think about it because it does, for a lot of you, I think it's a decision that involves spending money or something to do with assets. So maybe you're moving houses and it's almost like it's such a hassle you'd rather not think about it. But the thing is, it's like the elephant in the room, like it can't be ignored anymore. So it could even have to do with updating your systems or software or something like that. There's an important decision, especially again for my entrepreneurs, solo people, and maybe for some of you, if you're toying with the idea of starting that. Again, well, what's the delay? Why are you stopping yourself? This is about needing to make an internal decision, and quite clearly, she's wearing a blindfold, trusting your gut. It's not about asking mom or dad or brother or, your boyfriend, girlfriend. This is about trusting what you feel, intuitively and moving forward on that idea. A lot of you want to be in a career and you feel like the people around you don't approve, in which case it's saying that's what you need to detach from. Seeking people's approval, Pisces. Some of you are going to move into your own place. So if you've been living with a sibling or a family or an ex or something, it's like you're going to establish roots on your own independently. What are you doing to build the life of your dreams, to actually step up and create it? I can see you've been thinking about it, but have you actually been taking steps to build it? Taking it a piece at a time. There's a need to take action here because you don't have a lot of wands and it feels stagnant. It feels stuck. Yeah, it's like you need to throw your hands in there and get busy. You need to get back to work. So there may have been an unavoidable delay. Stuff happens in your life. It's time to refocus and keep building your job, keep building your career, or, putting out resumes, whatever that means for you. So what is the help available to my Pisces? Like glass half full, optimism. What is of use or helpful to Pisces regarding their money or their job right now? What can I tell Pisces? Your soulmate. Your soulmate's going to help you. Your best friend, your It doesn't have to be romantic love. I'm going to be honest. I think for most of you it is. Both these are beautiful cards. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, it's like they're your teddy bear. They're the person you can come home to at the end of the day and just collapse on. And they love you, boo. That's what I see. So even for my single people, I would challenge you to think, who could this be? If it's platonic love or if it's romantic love, this says to me you have a counterpart that is there for you. Even if it's your business partner, right? I would even argue it could even be family, especially your children. So, single mom, single dad, whatever. It doesn't have to be that, but family. These are two cards of family. This can sometimes be indicative of the home, like, the fourth house of the zodiac, very like Cancerian mama vibes. So mother, child, whatever. You have a person who loves you very much, who's supporting you. And there's going to be reason to celebrate, and it may even have to do with a reunion with someone from your past. So you may connect with an old colleague or a former friend, and maybe they're going to help get you a job, right? It could be something like that. There's someone you love or have a lot of admiration for, and someone who's very sweet and kind to you. This is not someone from the past who you hate. I see this as a potential very strong collaboration, Pisces. Like you guys could do magic together or work magic together. Like I'm hearing the word miracle workers, but I don't really know what that means. And it could be a parent-child duo, Pisces. It may have to do with working with your mother or your father or your one of your kids, depending on how old they are. Some of you may end up working with children too. And if that's the case, I see you really enjoying it. So if you currently work with children and you hate it, this isn't your message, obviously. But yeah, there's like family collaborations too, or again with a soulmate. There may even be talk of weddings or planning of weddings. Maybe you just have something to look forward to. I don't know. Or so maybe some of you are going to work in the wedding industry or designing, wedding gowns or something to do with flowers. There's a lot of flowers in all these cards. Yeah, Pisces, your last love reading was really great, and I'm seeing kind of similar energy. I mean, you have all my favorite love cards right now. You have the Four of Wands, you have the Six of Cups, and you have the Ten of Cups. So are you working with families? Are you working with happy couples? Are you, maybe you're, wedding planning and you're the, counseling, what they want for their venue and this, I don't know. Something about working with very happy couples or people who are just good collaborators. It could be artistic collaborators, especially illustrators or graphic designers. But the thing is, I'm actually seeing more like sketching with the hand. So I don't know if it's like graphic design, and something with water systems. Does that make sense to anyone? Collaborating with someone from your past, children. With that too, there's a message of honoring your inner child, thinking with a fresh, young perspective, maybe updating something that's old and outdated, doing it in a less traditional way, doing something that would appeal to children. Maybe that's your target audience, right? Embracing like the youthful side of your personality. Something about like hand gloves or something to do with the hand. So I'm seeing like mittens and gloves. I'm also seeing like manicures and pedicures. So maybe that's you. Maybe you're opening up a nail shop or something like that. Maybe you're sewing or what do you call it? Crocheting, knitting some mittens. I don't know. Maybe you're going to sell them on Etsy or, little bits of confirmation. A lot of you are going to get a new office space and it's going to be like your home base. And again, you may have to spend some money to do it, but I think it's going to be like a landing pad that allows like foot traffic, like walk-ins. Yeah, a lot of you are going to have romance and passion in the mix here too. And I said something similar to Cancer too. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but something about your love life may actually benefit you career or money-wise as well. And maybe you're just, joining homes. Maybe you're moving in with your person, right? That does affect your money, but it would be positive, right? So, yeah, you got real Casanova vibes with someone who's like sexy and passionate and very creative. And they have a very good money mindset. So even if this is a friend or a family member, they have creative ideas that would be of good use to you for you to listen and absorb those messages. All right, so what is the advice or guidance for Pisces? Advice or guidance for Pisces and money? Just in the coming month or so, what can I tell Pisces? Oh, those came right out. Whew, you have money coming in, but it's not here yet. Three of Wands is waiting for your ships to come in, and then Ten of Pentacles. Some of you may end up selling your parents' old place, or there may be, sometimes this can be a card of inheritance, very, very infrequently, but I will say it, this could have to do with like winning the lottery or something like that. Again, not for most of you, but I'll say it. This is a big chunk of money, but it's not here yet. So in a sense, I feel like this is saying strategize. Like you got your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Where are there streams of income that are easily available to you? You just haven't really tapped that potential yet because there's money around you. So if you are manifesting money and working on your side hustle or working on your resume or polishing this and that up, money is on its way to you, but it's almost like you have to take a step forward. For some of you who get married are going to get a huge amount of like wedding gifts or something like that. Somebody could give you a large personal check that helps you pay for something to start your own business. You do have 3 and 4 of wands, so I mean those are excellent cards waiting for your ships to come in. It's like you're looking for confirmation that you're on the right path. With these cards, I would say most of you are. Don't delay your decisions though. Take time to think them through, but don't put them on the back burner because it's a pain in the butt to think about it, or it's, your mind is too cluttered, and it's like avoidance will not be helpful to you right now. You need to keep pressing on and keep building, right? We saw 8 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. Some of you may end up working with animals or doing something very specific with birds, like something about the auditory, like bird calls or I know this is so random, you guys. Hummingbirds or I'm hearing like birds of a feather, but lovebirds too, again. So something about that may be symbolic. You may have like a bird tattoo. That may be like your wedding dance song. Something about birds. If it doesn't involve your career, it probably involves your love life. But I don't know, maybe you have like a grandfather who was like an ornithologist and you're going to get like an inheritance from him, or, something like that. Something about birds, that's confirmation for some of you. That also makes me think of like jazz musicians. What is that? One of them went by the word bird. So maybe some of you are going to be very wealthy musicians. I mean, again, I don't want to paint false hope, but you have very strong cards here. So I don't want to undersell it either. Money's coming into you. What else can I tell Pisces about that? Because that's, in terms of advice or guidance, okay, great. What else? Romance too. I can literally see it's upside down though, so it might be delayed. This money may come at the same time as a romance does. You may end up marrying someone very wealthy, in which case you could quit your 9 to 5 and focus more on like your artistic or spiritual endeavors, something that's more near and dear to your heart. That's what I mean. Through the connection of a soulmate, it actually offers you freedom or opportunity to do something that maybe you didn't have time to do before. A lot of you are going to start a business out of your house. Yeah, there's reciprocity. It seems like a lot of my Pisces have been putting in the energy. It will come back to you. Maybe tenfold, right? Keep building it, keep doing it. Stay away from negative or pessimistic thinking. People whose energy is just low vibing and, haters gonna hate. Push it aside and keep doing you. You have excellent money cards. Excellent money cards. Be aware, be cognizant, be choosy with who you want to work with. You're very intuitive, Pisces. So if you get kind of a weird vibe from someone, rightfully so, think about it before you're like, yes, let me sign a contract with you. Make sure you know who you're building things with. Because their energy is going to affect your money. Money is an energy, right? So we want you guys, in terms of like your compatibility, to be good if you're going to be on a project team with them. Yeah, I'm almost getting there may be too many people in the mix, like 3's a crowd. I would say a partnership 2 in the mix is great. There's a fantastic collaboration. When you start adding more on, I get that there's too many cooks in the kitchen, so just be careful of that if that makes sense to any of you. Some of you are going to be teaching, and something to do with actually like woodworking. Or I'm seeing almost like shop class, like in junior high. Like you're teaching, students, but maybe children working with, I'm seeing like shop machinery, or what do they call that? We called it shop. I know there's another name for it, like not home ec, but you know what I mean? Like useful skills. That's sort of what I would describe it as. But like maybe building a structure. You could be doing like what do you call that when you like church groups go and build do you know what I mean? Almost like, what is that called? Building houses, or maybe you're doing like Habitat for Humanity or something like that. There's a contract that may end too. I saw the tower show itself, but it didn't come out. And some of you know this already. Some of you, it's like you're preparing for the contract to end because it was a temporary position. You're right. It's probably going to end. Under that, though, there's reason to celebrate. So it's almost like you may have been shackled to a job and you thought there was so much potential in it, so you were really hoping you would grow from there. That contract may actually end, and the universe is like, good, now we can make time for the real one that I have for you. Again, Three of Cups, reasons to celebrate. Reunions from the past, former coworkers, former bosses, former lovers, Pisces. Again, that's huge in the spread. I am wanting to say, though, careful of the threes. There's something here. You have a lot of threes, which is about building and teamwork. I would say do your best to keep it to 2, or especially if you are in a position where it's you and the husband or you and the wife or you and the girlfriend, boyfriend, and then it's like their friend joins the business, and that's going to create mass chaos. Like there's going to be a lot of like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be on my team because I'm your wife. And like, I would just be careful of the 3, or it's not that you have to be afraid of it, but you need to have established very specific roles and rules and boundary lines of you are in charge of this, that's your territory, this is mine, and they don't cross. Like, do you understand what I mean? You need to be a little bit rigid about setting up, like, yeah, I'm actually seeing blueprints now. So something involving architecture or like erecting some sort of structure, I just see it as like too many cooks in the kitchen, so make sure you are delegating, but also being very specific on what people's job descriptions are and sticking to it. That's going to be very important. Okay, so some of you, there will be a payout from a court case. If that didn't make sense in terms of inheritance or a really fancy job, there could be some sort of government payout or loan, or again, something to do with a court case where you get paid out a lot of money. It could be like a medical settlement or something like that. Reasons to celebrate. Yeah, Three of Cups. That's kind of what I got for you, Pisces. You actually have a very strong reading, so I'm not going to ruin it with any Tower cards. These readings are a little bit clunky. I don't love doing money and career readings, so let me know, I guess, if you like them in a nice way, right? Constructive criticism. But there's something about these I haven't quite found my format yet. So if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. I will see you next time for your February monthly readings, which will include, I think it will include, definitely love, possibly more financial readings. We'll see. All right. Thanks for joining me, Pisces. See you next time. Bye, guys.